Today I want to share with you what might be one of the benefits that comes from this unique exception in the Quran. It may be Allah's way of telling us that the purpose, one of the main lessons of the book, one of the main teachings of Quran itself, is to understand how you're supposed to react when you're in a trial. Like in a sense, the Quran has many things. The Quran has many lessons. And it clarifies many realities. But if in one sense you were to be asked, what is the essence practically for me? If I was to really internalize the Quran, what would that practically mean for me? What it would mean is that I understand that when trials happen, they happen because I have Iman. I have to pay the price of Iman. There are going to be difficulties in my life. There's going to be challenges. There are going to be challenges that come to me at the hands of my loved ones. And it may come, that's from the inside. Or within the ummah itself, there will be people that give us problems. And then there will be people from the outside, the enemy that will give us problems. And both of them are, in a sense, Allah testing us, the grit and the strength of our faith. So what is the statement that Allah makes? أَحَسِبَ النَّاسُ أَن يُتْرَكُوا أَن يَقُولُوا آمَنَّا. Have people assumed that they're just going to be left alone just because they said we've believed? That's the statement. Have people assumed that they will be left alone just because they said that they've believed? وَهُمْ لَا يُفْتَنُونَ. And they're not going to be put to the test? They're not going to be thoroughly tested? Interestingly, you could say يُبْتَلَوْن. They'll be tested, but the word used in the ayah is يُفْتَنُون. And the word يُفْتَنُون comes from the Arabic verb fatana. Fatana is used, or fitna is used in Arabic originally when you have gold that has impurity. And unlike, if you have clothing that has impurity, you can wash it and the impurity comes off. If you have furniture that has an impurity, you can just brush it off. But if gold has impurity, you can't just brush it off. You have to melt the gold at very high temperatures. You have to burn this gold and put it under excruciating heat, and only then will the impurities come out. That's the only way to purify gold. It's an intense process. So the gold, its purity is tested by way of very intense heat. And that's when the impurities burn off. The use of that word suggests something. You think you're just going to have faith, and you just declared that you're Muslim, and you're not going to be put through intense heat? You're not going to be burned like gold is burned? And by the way, in just saying that, Allah's beautiful way of telling us that we are like gold to Him. That the believer is valuable to Him. That you're being put through a hard test because you're just that valuable. You're just that much worth to Allah. Sometimes people think because they're going through a hard time that they're worthless to Allah. Allah doesn't care about me, that's why I'm going through these things. If Allah cared about me, He would have been taking much more care of me. It's the opposite scenario now. It is because you are so valuable to Allah that you must be cleansed this way. وَهُمْ لَا يُفْتَنُونَ. And then Allah says, وَلَقَدْ فَتَنَّ الَّذِينَ مِنْ قَبْلِهِمْ. Much before, we tested people before them too. This is the old history of Allah. You're not the first one to be tested and tried. You're not the first one to be persecuted. You're not the first one to go through a hard time. This has been going on. This is a sunnah of Allah. وَلَقَدْ فَتَنَّ الَّذِينَ مِنْ قَبْلِهِمْ وَلَيَعْلَمَنَّ اللَّهُ الَّذِينَ صَدَقُوا وَلَيَعْلَمَنَّ الْكَاذِبِينَ. And this is Allah's way of absolutely exposing. This is how Allah will certainly get to see and expose who of you are actually truthful in your claim. Truthful in what claim? That they believe. Easy to say La ilaha illallah, easy to hold on to it in your heart when hard times come. And that's not the easy part. And so then He will know who's truly lying. You could still be saying La ilaha illallah and be lying. This is Allah's